Like, even though obviously a bear market's a bear market. I mean, obviously everything goes down, right? Of course, right? But I mean, I think that's one thing that really helped out Spooky Swap was like they never got rid of their Expo, and you can get in and out anytime you like. Now the share rate keeps going up, but like there's no penalty. There's no penalty for really exiting or entering really, because I see a lot of people doing that and stuff. Obviously, there's a little tax that's fine, but like um it is that sort of thing where like they just kept operating the entire time
Yeah.
and stuff, and people love that. So I mean I was never worried that Spooky Swap was not going to work and stuff like that. Like Baytomex got a little quiet, but I never gave up on them and stuff like that. And like, you know, there's been a couple other projects. Equalizer's one more of a new one that came up now recently and stuff like that. But you know what's going on with Liquid Driver? I mean, it seems like they've basically kind of gone off to like Arbitrum basically, it looks like.
Well, yeah, they're supporting. Right now, it seems to be their create wrappers for projects and shadow farms. We're hoping to have them integrate us. We're not quite like firm on things yet, but yeah, they just work with dexes and they're liquid driver, right? Like the name is driving liquidity, right?
Yeah.
So if you're building on top of these exchanges and you're optimizing it and you're adding extra APRs or you're doing an ALM, you're driving liquid. So I think they're doing a decent job, but they're definitely a little bit more focused maybe on ThenaFi or their
Yeah.
other stuff. But I see a bounce back for them. We're partnered with them. We're going to have Liquid Driver on their exchange. And I see them building some stuff, man. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep.
And it's kind of funny, like, because I saw, like, I mean, this kind of Beavis led a little bit, or like maybe I kind of noticed a lot of the guys were like originally jumped over to OP a little bit, and
Yeah.
I noticed that this is the one thing that gave me so much faith about like what really gave me faith was that like I was in a bunch of other L1s, and Phantom projects were basically the only projects that had the fucking developer horsepower to be able to open up shop in a different even like imagine this, like this one thing I always gave, that's why I never gave up faith on Beats, was that they were so good that they're a fork of a different project, and the main project Balancer ended up partnering with them because they had the developers and the horsepower to actually launch something on OP, so they partnered. Like, I've never heard of a fork project going back to the original project. Yo, let's work together. And they're like, all right, 50-50 split. Let's go.
Yeah, that's interesting. It was like the official fork, they called them. I like to see that, man. You love to see that because a lot of forks don't acknowledge where they grabbed the code from. They just
but they got so good that Balancer was like, all right, yeah, help. Like literally, I saw it. Like, help us out, help us launch the shop on OP, and when we upgrade to V4 Balancer, you're gonna get it 100% because it is like, because they've spent a lot of money to develop it and stuff like that. So that's what I really love and stuff like that. And then obviously, Beats, Beats went over there. Tarot, I think, eventually went over there as well, and Arbitrum and stuff like that. No, I like Tarot. I like Tarot pretty good and stuff like that. Obviously, Scream was huge, but I think Scream got kind of hurt because of what happened in the bear run or whatever, because like so many people took out liquidity there. Or they're funny games.
A lot of bad debt. Yeah. Well, yeah. What did you think of the website? I think the Scream website is probably the best website I've ever seen on Phantom.
Okay, so like, yeah, it's a really good web. The thing, for me personally, it's because I like simplicity, right? I like simplicity, right? You know, like I'm left curb, like left curb, right? But the middle gets fucked, but the left and the right make the money, right? But I always tell my guys is like, I like what grandma and grandpa used to use, right? Like I love the simplicity. I've always loved like Spooky Swap simplicity of it. And over time, it's got a little more complex, but the simplicity of it, right? And I know you're going to implement some of that, but also add the bells and whistles as well on top of that, right? But user interface is the most important thing, because people need to know how to navigate. I've been in Phantom basically since you were since 21, right? And like some of these websites on Phantom still are a little like, oh my god, I got to click around to find some, or like with the voting buttons hidden and shit. Like, holy fuck, like, where is everything, right? So that's one thing we do need to work on, is like it needs to get cleaned up. But good projects are here, and that's a great thing, because I know that'll eventually get kind of like worked out or ironed out, basically.